Right, so let's crack on. Front page of the Daily Mail, Steve. What have they got?
They go with this story. Rishi orders COVID tests on arrivals from China. I mean, I suppose it's a headline, so it's actually pre-departure tests rather than tests on arrival.
Oh, right.
But I think they were just trying to sub it down to fit the space, I imagine. But I don't know if that's important. It's all because of China dropping their zero COVID target, which in theory means now they're going to go through the it's running rife through society phase.
Yeah, but they've got this big surge at the moment, there's no doubt about that.
It's not just because they waited to suddenly release the lockdowns. Their vaccine isn't as good. Right, should just buy in the one that works better.
But if that's the case, Steve, then what do we have to fear by people from China coming over here?
Well, actually, what we have to fear is potentially if you've had that many people unchecked having a virus that can mutate, who knows if there's a new variant that's not been identified or we've been told about. That's the answer to the question.
Are you saying the Chinese government is not transparent with its information?
As if I would dare ever say. Of course they're not. The whole point of this is that they want to bring in tests because we don't trust the data coming out of China.
Yes.
But then that's kind of pointless as well, saying we want them to do tests.
Yes.
Well, you don't trust the results.
Exactly. So. Isn't that a legitimate point, Nick?
Yeah.
You know.
Why would they be honest now? I mean, they weren't honest about any other aspect, the lab leak, etc., etc. So, suddenly their tests are totally accurate. Questionable. I think one thing it proves is that lockdowns don't work because China's done the most stringent lockdowns in the world and then they obviously haven't worked. I think this proves it. If we're worried about people coming from China, rightly, perhaps, I think if you were going to be really aggressive at the start with the border policy, some people thought you could have done something then. Yeah. But I think it's far too late. I'd still probably do it for the sake, may as well. But then again, I'm anti-immigration anyway, so
there's that.
So it's an easy win.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, though, Nick, because isn't there a fear that this is a kind of slippery slope thing? You introduce these sort of checks at the airport, then people start wearing masks again, and then we're on lockdown.
Good point. I've changed my mind. I wouldn't do it. Basically, it's not going to be effective anyway, I don't think. And is it going to be rigorously done? Can we trust these tests? It's probably not going to do anything anyway. I'm just saying I'd rather, be careful about immigration in general. But you're right, this is not going to do anything.
I mean, do you think that there's a fear that we might be, or that we could go back to lockdown situations?
I don't think it would be accepted because the world is very different. I mean, you don't have to pick the far extreme of the position. It's not that all lockdowns are thoroughly pointless or, we should always be having them and where's your mask?
Yeah.
There is one narrative that is, when you've got a new virus and you know nothing about it, a lockdown could be worthwhile and might save people then. But when you've got vaccines aplenty, I don't think anyone would accept a lockdown now because if you've not had the vaccine and you die from it, it becomes your fault.
And you don't think this spectre of a kind of a variant we don't know anything about yet that might for some reason be a lot worse, even though the variants generally get weaker, that's not really legitimate?
Long term, the trend would be get weaker, but you never know which one. It's like trying to work out which raindrop's the one that runs down the window. You don't know if the next one's stronger, but the general trend is weaker.
Right.
But no, it's not the same. A virus you know nothing about versus a variant that you know something about. It's only slightly different.
Yes.
I don't think we would accept it, so no.
OK.